gold and silver. Welcome to CarminesGold.com. Don't waste not even a second looking. Cheaper prices just don't exist. How important is it for you to own gold and silver right now? What does it mean to me personally? There's an economy that's about to crash beyond what words can explain. In 5 words, I'm going to educate you on gold and silver. Are you ready? You need to own some. Simple. Well, folks, congratulations, everybody. Congratulations to the Trump family. And I could tell you, this is where everything starts. This is not the time to get complacent. This is when the hard work truly begins. And complacency has no room in America. Donald Trump obviously won fair and square, even though they tried to finagle the bagel. You know what I'm talking about. In a lot of states, especially New York. New York, you know, you got 50,000 people showed up at his rally. Dr. Phil was there, RFK was there, Elon Musk was there talking on Donald Trump's behalf. And you had another 50,000 people outside of the stadium who could not get in. Typically, if that would have happened back in 2020, for example, or 2018, there would have been maybe 50,000 people inside and potentially thousands of people outside fighting and killing each other, etc. That did not happen. So, and that's documented. So we know that New York should have went, you know, Trump's way. I believe California should have went Trump's way. I believe a lot of the states that are blue, they finagled the bagel. And you know what I'm talking is I'm not allowed to use that word that I'm not allowed to use here. And that's going to change because all of that freedom of speech stuff is all going to come back because Donald Trump is going to lay down the gauntlet. And believe you me, he's going to mean business this time. Okay. Now comes the real work. Rebuilding America begins now. I think going into, 2016, 2020, first of all, is there going to be an election reevaluation of what happened then to see who the guilty parties are? Do I believe that there's going to be potentially a lot of arrests coming up? Yeah. The second part of the movie starts right here, right now. And this is the part of the movie that needs to be well documented because when the new leadership comes up, and if they have any ill intent, when they see how brutally it ended for the cabal that was in existence up until 2024, 2025, they won't even try it. It's got to scare the living daylights out of them, and I believe it will. First of all, I think that Donald Trump, the first thing he'll do, I think it's very easily predictable, is to close the border. That's first and foremost. ICE and the Border Patrol will be able to do their job for the first time in a long time. I think that a lot of these kids that are misplaced, that were brought here and for other intensive purposes, because it makes money for a lot of people. You know exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to try to keep it under the radar until Donald Trump makes the announcement that the algorithms and freedom of speech is allowed again on all of these platforms. And I believe it will. But you know what I'm talking about. So do I believe that they need to make some kind of a website so that these kids were taken away from people down in South America, Central America, et cetera, wherever they're coming from, it doesn't matter, where people can go to one main website and start looking at all the photos and videos of these kids to try and repatriate them with the right mothers and fathers. I believe that needs to happen, and it needs to happen very, very quickly. I just made some notes here. One of the things he'll do, obviously, he's going to absolutely reignite the Keystone Pipeline. Now, I understand that the pipeline is broken in a lot of places. When you don't run oil through these things constantly, these things start to rot away. You know, the Mother Nature takes a hold of it and starts to deteriorate that infrastructure. So that infrastructure needs to be repaired. So as much as you and I would love to see the gasoline price come down immediately, I wouldn't hold my breath for at least, 4 to 6 months. It all depends. I know that Donald Trump likes to do things in record time, and I do believe that he will um, fix it pretty fast. I mean, if he gets fixed in a month or two, don't be surprised because he wants that energy flowing here in America, and we want to export the energy, not import it. And we do want to get, gasoline down to $1.89 for high test, and I believe that is coming. So the children, obviously, that goes without saying. That's an automatic, whoever is responsible for moving these kids around the planet, in the tunnels and all of that, that is an automatic. So I'm not even going to count that as one of the things. Will RFK, get rid of the chemtrails, clean up the food, the air, the water? I believe that is a protocol that's going to happen real fast. Okay. The health of American people, you will see that it will start to turn around by 180 degrees within 12 to 18, 24 months at the very outside. You're not going to recognize the people at Walmart because they're going to look intelligent. They're going to look thin. They're going to have their teeth. They're going to look beautiful again. They're going to have intelligent conversations again. Somebody did this to us. This was intentional. We didn't just wake up one day and the entire country, 90% of the country is obese. All right. So we have to fix that. Let me see here. Yes. Do we want to see everybody who is guilty of treason crimes to humanity be apprehended and dealt with to the fullest extent of the law? If the law says you get a death sentence, well, that's what it is. I'm sorry, I don't write the law, but there are people in place that will enforce the law. And if that's what's coming to you, you know what? You had a chance to say no when they instructed you to do certain things during that 2019 and administer that thing that a lot of us didn't want to take. So because of that, and you knew what you were doing, you knew that this was lethal. Uh, we had no choice but to follow the law in this particular instance. And it doesn't matter whether you're a doctor, it doesn't matter if you went to school for 29 years to, poison people, etc. You're going to go down. It doesn't matter whether you're a nurse or a nurse practitioner. If you knew what you were doing, you're going to go down. If you interrupted someone's lunch or dinner because they didn't have a check mark in their passport, you're going to go down. So look, I'm hard on the cops because I'm not one to want to defund the police. And I do want you guys to do your job, but I want you to do your job if there's a domestic violence, if there's some dude beating up an old lady, if there's an adult beating up a kid. Yes, go do your job. If there's somebody driving erratically that's doing like 70 miles an hour or weaving in and out of traffic, yes, absolutely. Pull them over and give them the riot act. But to pull people over at 10 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour, because the city and the county needs money, that's going to come to an abrupt end. I'm telling you. You guys might want to look for another kind of job, and some of you guys will be dealt with as well. That whole thing's one big scam, and I can get into the straw man. A lot of you guys know what that is. For all you coppers that don't know what the straw man is, go do your homework. Okay. So I'm excited really about social media platforms that are going to have no choice but to follow the Constitution, because I would love for the Mel Carmines of the world to be the next guys in line after the Joe Rogans and Patrick David show, etc., to be the one where Donald Trump, maybe if I can figure out a way to get this thing to 1 million followers, that Donald Trump would consider coming on the Mel Carmine show. That would be nice. Okay. Um, Mainstream media. I mean, I personally think that mainstream media should be completely done away with. I think we should completely ignore it to the extent to where Donald Trump gets invited and doesn't even respond. Literally, when I say ignore, I mean ignore to the fullest extent. And I think he should continue to go on Patrick Bet-David, on Tucker Carlson, on guys that are in that size category right now because they can have a broad reach. And I got an itch in my nose, which means I'm probably going to get into a fight with somebody today. Um, but anyway, needless to say, yeah, I think that's where he should really focus his energy. And any of the newscasters who were enticing trouble, if they are guilty of crimes, and they are, okay. Good morning, Joe. I'm talking to you. The Brzezinski lady, I'm talking to you. Yes, they should absolutely face whatever is coming to them. I don't write the laws, but we do have people in place, like I said, that will enforce those laws. Will Donald Trump contact Iraq and the nations that are in line to be revalued. I believe that is in the cards. I believe just like the Iraqi dinar, um, not the Iraqi rather, but the Kuwaiti dinar, when they drilled, and some of you know the story, some of you may not because you knew, they drilled on their property line and they tapped into a vein that traveled underneath the ground into the border of who? Iraq. And we allowed that, the short and skinnies, we allowed them to go to war with Kuwait, knowing that that monetary system in Kuwait was going to devalue. You could have bought for a penny, you could have bought a Kuwaiti dinar, and then it revalued to $3.30, which means you're making 330 times your money when that revaluation took place. And that's a very true story. And you could look it up on the internet. So, but because now the deplorables, the garbage people, us, because we have the dinars, we have the zims, we have the, and I don't know what these things are going to revalue at. I'm sure it's going to be substantial. I'm sure it's going to be valued more than what they're valued at right now. But at some point, I believe that Donald Trump is going to make that deal because he is the art of the deal, and a lot of us are going to be very comfortable. Let's put it that way. I don't know. There's some, astronomical numbers. I think personally, I like to think with my feet firmly on the ground. I think, with all due respect, $3.30 is where I think it's going to be at, which is right in line with the Kuwaiti dinar. Now, if it's more, that's wonderful. That's great. I'm not going to argue with them. What are you trying to give me more? Of course, I'll take more. If it's worth $10 or $20 or $14 or $17, all these numbers that are floating out there, believe you me, I will take more. Okay. And I would love to have more because I have some things that I would like to get accomplished, and that would help me tremendously. Will Gary Gensler get fired? Not only should he get fired, all his cronies should be locked up and put away. And if they have crimes of treason, because people like myself and my wife who are heavily invested in the ISO tokens in the cryptosphere. I don't like to call it crypto. You guys know I like to call it digital assets. Nobody wants to be in the crypt. The people that are going to be in the crypt are the people that were trying to put us in the crypt. Now they're going to go into the crypt, if you're feeling me. So Gary Gensler should be arrested. All of his cronies should be arrested. Not only that, but I believe that the SEC, along with the IRS and the FTC and the Department of Justice, and a lot of these entities that are illegal, the Department of Justice needs to be restructured. The FBI needs to be restructured and retrained. You got to get rid of all of the criminals in those departments, and they got to deal with the law, whatever the law is. Like I said, we don't make the law, but someone will enforce it, and you will pay the fiddler. Now, I think Donald Trump, like 107, I got 107 on video, man, with Nino saying that he's going to chop the Federal Reserve, not the Federal Reserve, I'm sorry, the federal government down by a total of about 50%. That's the appetizer, just for starters. When we say that the government is going to be chopped down by 95%, we don't need all this government. We have agencies, and I've said this many, many times in previous videos, and I'll say it again for the new people, that we have agencies that have offices that we're paying rent, exorbitant amount of money. And there's people that maybe show up maybe once a month, maybe once every other week, that we're paying $400,000 a year salaries. And it's coming from your tax money that you're paying on your property. It's coming from the sales tax that you're paying. Your IRS tax goes to the Vatican and it goes to the United Kingdom. All of it, every single, not one red cent. And it is registered in Puerto Rico. 107 has verified this. We got them on video. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts going forward. I got some more. Will Trump break up the Federal Reserve cartel? Yes, I believe that that's coming. Will Ripple, XRP potentially merge with the Treasury? I believe to that some extent that has already been done, and I believe the trimming of the Treasury has already begun as well. I think Ripple may very well become the biggest bank in the world. Um, so the interest rates have to come way, way down. The housing prices have to come way down. This is all going to happen underneath Trump. People who thought they could never buy a house are going to all of a sudden be in a position to where they could buy a house. I think the code on building the homes needs to be much, much stronger. I believe these weather modifications, and we know that they have the ability to steer a lot of these hurricanes based on their own ambitions. And I'll leave it at that. I'll let you guys sort of play with that in your mind. This has to go. If there is a hurricane, if we have the ability to be able to steer that thing to where we want it to go, where they really wanted it to go for their own ambition, we should be able to destroy it dead in the water, right in the Gulf. Okay, so I believe that hurricanes, I believe that tornadoes may very well be a thing of the past because they will release this technology. We've had it since the 80s, folks. It's called HARP, HAARP. Russia's got it, China's got it. Okay, and Xi Jinping this morning and Putin, I can assure you, are shitting in their pants because they know that Donald Trump is going to come at them with these tariffs, and he means business. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, I think this guy is going to fix this planet because the entire planet last night, make no mistake about it, nobody went to sleep. Absolutely nobody. I was talking to people that were in New Zealand, in Australia, in the United Kingdom, in Spain. Everybody wanted Donald Trump to win because they realized that if Kamala Harris, who her father is a documented Marxist, and she was raised to be a Marxist, if she had won, folks, this morning, you would have martial law. You were 6 months away from communism taking over America. There was no way we were going to make it happen this time because, like they did what they did during the pandemic, the COVID-19, and then you had to mail in your ballots. That didn't happen this time. There was no mail-in ballots. Very few people, if maybe a handful of people, not even worth talking about, an insignificant number, uh, mailed in their ballots. Most people, like myself, voted in person. So we feel good about what happened, even though we think that he won the entire thing. The entire thing should have been red, as far as I'm concerned. And then we had states like who were trying to be part of the finagling of the bagel of 2024, like Nevada said, "Oh, it's going to take us 2 weeks to count the ballots." Really? Well, when they saw that the tidal wave was too strong, too big to rig, I'm sure that maybe this morning or this afternoon we will have the accurate count or somewhat of an accurate count. Obviously, we know that there's some finagling going on there too in Nevada. So that is something we're waiting on to come in. So, the important thing here is that we get our hands on these 6,000 patents. I mean, I've showed the video with Patrick, Bet, David. See, it doesn't really mean much when a guy like myself, who's very not educated, I didn't really go to college for a very, very long time. I thought it was a waste of time. I think today, more than ever, it's a waste of time. You're sending your kids into an indoctrination camp for the government to serve the master. This is done. It's over. Gabish, you guys are out of business. So personally, you could learn a lot more just being online. I think school is important to especially to learn how to read, write, and do some basic math. I'm really good at basic math, and I can tell you that I've been a very good businessman all my life, and I'm about to get better. Even though I am 61 years old, yes, I do want my 61 years back when the celestial chambers get here. Why? Because I think I was cheated. I had to, spend the last 4 years really battling the New World Order. I became a general in this fight, not because I wanted to become popular and walk down the street and sign autographs. It was necessary. And it's necessary for you gals and guys to stand up and get a microphone and speak your mind. I really don't care. And I've said this a million times, and I'll say it 1,000,001 times right here, right now. I don't care if you become bigger than Mel Carmine. I don't care if you got the gift of gab better than Mel Carmine. I don't care if you become 20 times bigger than Mel Carmine. It makes my job that much easier. Do you understand? I want more soldiers. I want more generals. I want more colonels, okay, on the battlefield. The more, the merrier. This will never happen again. So the 6,000 patents that what's his name was talking about, as a matter of fact, I might want to play that for you here right now. If I could find it, I should be able to. But the 6,000 patents is a very, very real deal. The med beds are very. I'll play you that one as well. The med beds are a very, very real deal. Here it is. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. For those of you who have not seen this, let me just queue up the video first. Okay. And let me blow it up. There we go. And hopefully this comes out just right. No, it didn't. So let me stop that. And let me share again. Here we go. Sound. I got to walk myself through these applications. What do you know? Here we go. Share. Now let me play that for you.
Next one's going to be a little bit weird. You may even pause the video to want to Google this to say, this can't be right. In 1951, the U.S. enacted the Invention Secrecy Act. What is that? Allows the government to legally classify and keep certain inventions secret if deemed a threat to national economy or security. What could be a threat to national economy? If you're able to figure something out that's 220 miles per gallon, you think it affects the oil industry a little bit? Maybe. Inventions under a secrecy order cannot be discussed, exported, or sold outside of military channels. Violations of secrecy order can result in imprisonment for the inventor. Over 6,000 patents today are kept by the U.S. government in secret. They didn't allow the people to go out there and sell it. I wonder what those 6,000 patents are. A lot of people want to be like, when you become a president, I want to go to Area 51. A lot of us capitalists want to find out what these 6,000 patents are. Next one's going to be a little bit weird.
Now, look, it has a lot of validity because a guy that's worth $600 million talks about 6,000 patents. And we've been throwing that number out there for quite a long time. Here's Nino Rodriguez and 107. I'm going to play that for you as well here in a little bit. It's very important that you listen to what in 107, who said Nasara Jasara is hokey pokey, and Nasara Jasara, the name itself triggers 107. I know it does. I don't give a shit what you call it. Call it something else. As long as it works exactly like Nasara Jasara, I couldn't give a crap what you call it. Seriously. So here's, I'll play you a little clip of this, but getting back to Patrick, when he's talking about the carburetor that does 220 miles per gallon. We're so past that, folks. We've been held down in a Model T Ford extension, 4 rubber tires, and this is the most primitive, cumbersome, dinosaur, outdated travel system in the history of planet Earth. We need to be on, our own flying machines. We need to be able to get into flying machines. And I've had him on my show where he said, yeah, and they're going to be with Over Unity. Over Unity, we know, is free energy technology. So if you got free energy technology in the flying car, you're going to have free energy technology in your home and your business as well. So let's go ahead and play this. And again, Patrick Bet-David, a lot more credibility than Mel Carmine.
That's who's really in the threat. Remember, Trump said he's going to reduce the federal government by 50%. And he said in the last short while, things that I've been saying for the last many years, before it's all over, you won't have an income tax because that is a unlawful entity. It's a foreign corporation based out of Puerto Rico.
There you go. How long have I been saying that? I mean, I'll just play you that one clip. Now I'll play you another clip, which is pretty wild because people say, oh, med beds don't exist. Well, wrap your mind against this. Now, listen, this guy is reading this. I want you to pay very close attention. I'm going to sort of set you up here. This guy is reading from military documentation that if you look closely, it happens to be highlighted what he's reading to you on this video. And listen carefully. It's only like 42-second video, whatever it is, but it is very, very effective. It's not even 40, it's like 22 seconds.
Even within the 2023 defense budget is something very interesting indeed. Within these documents is a proposal for something they are calling rapid healing for warfighter injuries. That is, technologies that can rapidly accelerate the restoration and repair of complex tissues. The document goes on to say the program will develop approaches that combine high-resolution biosensors to track the healing process in real time with bioactuators to stimulate restoration, where and when they are needed. This sounds very much like the concept of medbeds, a technology shown in movies like Elysium that can heal any illness or disease.
So, look, you could sit there and poo-poo it, and you could say, yes, Mel, that sounds like science fiction. They've been selling you science fiction when it's been a lot of it, or most of it, I should say, has been nothing more than really science fact. And, look, I'm not here to fight with the normies. I'm not here to fight with my neighbors. I got one to the left, one to the right. They're both flaming, liberals, nice people, very educated, multimillionaires, but they were poisoned by the mainstream. I'm here to try at this point to be in position for this transference of wealth. I'm trying to be as healthy as I possibly can. As you can see, my face is nice and skinny. I look pretty darn good for 61. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I just bought a bunch of this stuff that I came back from Costa Rica. I could get, this is prescription. You can't get that in the United States. And so when I go there, I buy 3-4 tubes, last me for an entire year or more. So I try to take care of myself is what I'm saying. So, look, at this stage of the game, it looks like the military needs to be called in because there have been crimes against humanity. And it's not 257,000 indictments. It's probably in the millions because we're talking world leaders. We're talking sheriff's department cops are involved with this stuff. We're talking about some of the sheriffs or themselves are crooked. So we have no choice but to literally eradicate this evil once and for all. Like I've said many times, I'm going to close with this. This quantum summit, as a matter of fact, I may show you some of the actual website as it's shaping up to some of the speakers that are going to be attending, et cetera, the food, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. But this quantum summit, I am absolutely certain at this point that it will be most likely the very last quantum summit. And it's going to be in a quantum celebration at this point, simply because of what happened last night with the election. I think a lot of people are going to want to descend down in Cape Canaveral. We're going to be at the Radisson. It's a 11,000 square foot room. It's massive. We expect every bit of a 900 to 1,000 people. When the tickets are sold out, they're sold out. By the way, I got to make this announcement. It's very, very important. February 17th is the cutoff date. We cannot sell tickets beyond February 17th. After February 17th, there is no more tickets because we have to hand in the amount of people who are showing up because they have to buy enough food for the people who bought a ticket, and that will be it. So whoever gets in, who's out is out. But I think we're going to sell out way, way before February 17th. Do I think that Donald Trump needs to beef up his security? At this point, I believe so. But let me take you over to the Quantum Summit website, and let me show you that for whatever it's worth. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, we got the beautiful Dr. Sandra coming. We got Dr. Jan Helper Hayes. We got Nino Rodriguez. We got 107 guarantees me this time he'll be there. This gentleman here wrote the actual Matrix. Okay, his name is Tom. He's good friends with Rosie O'Donnell. You know who that was? Molly Elmore, Lewis Hearns. Digital Outlook Dave is going to be there again. I believe the two twin brothers, the Black Swan brothers, are going to come. Rob Cunningham, absolutely one of the favorites. Mickle Markets is going to be there. Let me show you some menu options here that we have. And then we went to a tasting and we did not whatchamacallit, sample all of the food. We just sampled. These are the ones that we sampled, the ones that are in the pictures. This is just the quality food you get. This is a sort of like a spring salad with mint and Thai basil, with watermelon and feta cheese. Absolutely delicious. You would think that combination, like feta cheese with watermelon, that makes no sense. Let me tell you, it's delicious. Okay. We have coconut encrusted shrimp with Thai sauce. We have some beautiful Caesar salad and romaine lettuce. Okay. And let me tell you, the food is right on point. When I said to you guys that this is without question, level grade, a wedding, a high end wedding type food, that's what you're getting. Okay. Meatballs, absolutely on point, delicious. This is the desserts. This is some stuffed mushrooms with shrimp and fresh mozzarella cheese melted on top over a bed of spinach. Absolutely delicious. Okay. Let me tell you something. You guys are going to be getting tortellini with vodka sauce. You guys are going to get a tremendous amount. New York strip steak. There's going to be a gala dinner. There's going to be DJ. There's going to be all kinds of things. There's going to be karaoke. There's going to be dancing. Like I said, this is going to be a celebration, and it's going to be a massive celebration. Now, if you want to know exactly what's on the menu options, day one, lunch, day two, okay, this is buffet, all you can eat, unlimited, the wedding style buffet, okay, high end food. You can't beat it. Let me tell you. And then we're going to have a pool party. Okay. Day one, there's going to be a pool party and there's going to be hors d'oeuvres at the pool, and there's going to be karaoke and DJ. Most likely, maybe only karaoke, but we're not sure yet. But I think it's going to be an incredible, incredible event. Now, that's a free event. The gala dinner, that's in addition to, but the gala dinner, we're going to be able to fit between 630, because when you put those massive round tables, it eats up a lot of real estate. So we're going to probably be able to fit about 650 people or so in the room, and that's it. So, guys, I don't really have anything more than to say, thank you. Congratulations to everybody who fought this New World Order very, very hard. Let's not get complacent. Let's throw our hats in the ring as leaders, and let's see what we need to do to get this country back on track in record time. We don't have a lot of time to waste, and I will leave it with this. I don't know enough about this guy Vance. There's a lot of rumors out there that I have not substantiated myself. He seems, at least on the outside, like a nice guy. I hope he is a nice guy, but he is a politician. We don't trust politicians. We don't want politicians running the United States of America, the free world. We want potentially a Trump Jr., or we want an Eric Trump next, and we want that Trump legacy to go for the next 20 years, because we want to make sure we stay on track. We want to make sure that the bad guys never come back. We want to make sure that we create heaven on earth, Nisara Jasara. One tax, clean air, clean food, the pursuit of happiness, okay? Total freedom. What good is all this XRP and dinars and you're worth $82 billion or $12 billion or $162 million, and you can't enjoy yourself because there are people trying to figure out how to tax you to death, how to poison you? That's not fun. That's not a world I want to live in. But I do want, when I do go in the celestial chamber, aka the med beds, I want my 61 years back, and I want 1,000 lifespan, 1,000-year lifespan minimum. So I want 1,061, because I want my 61 years back, because I believe I was robbed. Because I've been fighting this New World Order for 36 years. It's been a long time. I believe I've earned my stripes, and I would love to literally hang up my cleats. If I still do podcasting after this is all said and done and the reevaluation of wealth is in play, I can absolutely assure you that if I do 1 or 2 podcasts a week, maybe not, maybe I'll do maybe one a month. Who knows? I believe I'd like to maybe take it easy a little bit. But I don't know, perhaps maybe a gated community, Mel and Amber's gated community is in the cards at some point. And some of you guys who made a lot of money who listened to us, not because we're financial advisors, but because we're very, very smart people, and we knew how to read the breadcrumbs as to where this revaluation is going to end. Some of you might be able to buy a lot inside our gated community. Obviously, you might have to pass a Mel Carmine IQ test in order to qualify. It's not going to be just about money, but we want to make sure that you get along with the community, that you're, in line with our train of thought. And it's going to be fun because we'll have a place where we can hire some agricultural people to grow our own food. Maybe we'll make that part of the, one flat HOA fee, monthly HOA fee that comes with your eggs, your milk, your cheese, your meat, your vegetables, your fruits, all of it. And, hire maybe 10 people can grow food for thousands, 10 very well-trained people by, my good friend, Jim Gale, can grow food for thousands. Yeah, you might still have to go buy some rice and pasta and flour and pancake mix. But the only thing is you don't have to worry about it being laced with Roundup or glyphosates, where that's the reason I believe a lot of these people are so ill. And that's what I believe a lot of these people are literally been sick for a very, very long time. That's the reason why, and I'll close it out with this, and maybe I'll share my screen one more time. And I'll go to Staying Alive. Staying Alive now, folks, is spelled with 2 E's, no longer 2 I's. That website, the 2 I's, will be faded out here, I believe, shortly. So let me go ahead and take you to that. Yeah, that is the new website. It is gorgeous. Truly, truly gorgeous. And you want to tell everybody you know about Staying Alive, simply because that's exactly what we're doing. We're allowing people to stay alive and thrive. Okay. Beautiful website. And this is basically a picture of partial of the room. We got another monitor. This is a 2,400 square foot location, folks. We got 45 chairs. Okay. Just like 45, our president, who's now 47. I might add 2 chairs just to comply with the number of the president, what it is. So you go down, you read this little cute story here. You got a video that I highly, 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 highly urge everybody to watch. It's 13.9 second video, 13 minutes and 9 seconds. You got the plasma med bed, which is unbelievable. I would love to tell you what this does, but I can't. We're still not in full control of our freedom of speech. We will be soon. Okay. We actually, preserved some of the artwork that was on the walls, and we put an X on that astronaut surfing. I don't know if you could tell there. All right. We actually got some contact paper that you put down when you wash your carpeting that sticks. We put it on the wall, and we traced it. We cut it with a utility knife because it was so beautiful. I said, I don't want to paint over that. And we also preserved the space shuttle that we haven't needed in 100 years, which is on the opposite wall. So you scroll down, and boom, this is where the magic happens, folks. This is where the magic resides at Staying Alive, with 2 E's, which stands for energy enhancement, which is indicative of what the technology truly is. And here you will find videos. You might want to watch this one. This is 7 minutes and 30-second testimonial that will literally knock you off your chair. Maybe we could play this one here for you. This is Bob. This is only about 1 minute and 34 seconds.
Hi everybody, my name's Bob. I'm here at the Staying Alive Wellness Center here in Cape Canaveral, Florida. I'm a current resident of Merritt Island, Florida. A friend of mine had given me the opportunity to come to the better understanding of what this establishment was and where it was at. I had some previous experience with what goes on here with these 2 modalities currently afforded to each and every one of us. I come here with the health issue of chasing lower back pain for over 30 years. I stand here in true testament to all of you, and I would like an explanation why, that within 24 hours of my exit of this establishment, my lower back pain is now completely gone. I can understand it to the values upon which reside in this room that I stand outside of. I understand all that. But it's difficult to understand living with pain for over 30 years. Sometimes debilitating, other times just manageable. That has completely left me and is gone to this day. I stand before you all and say that what we witness in this room is working to the best of what I can only call, at this point, miracles. I wish you all a blessed day. Have a good day.
That's just one. This one here is very impressive, which I'm not going to play for you. It's 7 minutes and 30 seconds long. Lady goes to the doctor. She's got 5 main arteries, which I believe all of us do, in her heart. And 3 of them are completely blocked, and the other one was partially blocked. And they wanted, somebody to tell them about some magic wand, some miracle cure. Even though these are not machines that are medical devices, these machines do not cure you. It is your own body that does all of the heavy lifting, all of the work, because it recognizes the frequency that it's in. It's your body that creates billions of healthy cells per hour. And it's the body that recognizes, oh my God, we got healthy cells. What are healthy cells? Healthy cells go to work in fixing your body, and it will recognize what's the worst thing, what's the second worst thing, and it will go right down the line. And it is the body that fixes the body. And that's exactly how it works. It is one of the most compelling testimonials that ever came out of, besides the one with the lady that had the C that ends with the R that we're not allowed to mention here, completely, totally in remission. Here's another short video. I'll play this one for you. I'm sure you'll recognize who this gentleman is.
So I have this room, this salt room I built. And so they put these 16, they built it in, it looked beautiful. And then after a little period of time, you feel it. And then I'm talking to my buddy Dan, who's obsessed like I am. He's always looking for breakthroughs. He's a bodybuilder and a race car driver.
As I said, do you realize what you've got?
I said, tell me about your experience. They told me about a friend of his who had Parkinson's and how they went in for this session and felt better. And after 3 or 4 days, there was no tremor. But I know he's as skeptical as I am.
I was very skeptical. I'm sitting in this room with these computer screens and I'm going, this just looks crazy.
And he goes, Tony, I went in there for 3 hours and I felt nothing.
I didn't have any solutions. I thought, well, I'm going to just try it again. What do I got to lose? I'm suffering so damn bad. So I came back the next day at 6 hours and I walked out of that place pain-free. It was so amazing. I couldn't even believe it. I went home that night and slept through the night. I haven't felt like this in 12, 13 years. My energy was phenomenal, and so I felt so good. By month 8, I'm going a full week without pain. I don't have shoulder pain anymore, and I just think this is the most amazing technology. I couldn't recommend it more to anyone.
So there you go. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you guys are supposedly the digital soldiers, right? And you guys don't like the medical industry and what it's done to humanity just as much as I don't like the medical industry. So shouldn't we all be working together and saying, hey, there's a solution down in Cape Canaveral? Shouldn't you pick up the phone and send us some customers down to Cape Canaveral? I believe you should. You know why? Because we got a bone to pick with the medical industry. And I can't do this alone, but I'm going to tell you right now, we are about to go mainstream because I believe this technology at some point down the road with Trump and RFK, who both, by the way, own the technology in their homes now, verified. I could tell you that obviously they haven't come out and publicly and said it, but that's the truth because I got that directly from Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. You watch the testimonials on this page right here, and you live in Brevard County or the surrounding counties, you know what you're doing? You're buying a package. That's what you're doing. Because these are people from all walks of life. These are not actors that we hired. Okay. These are real people with real stories, with real results. And down in Cape Canaveral, we sit in a vortex. The vortex basically is an energy field, sort of like Sedona and the pyramids over there in Egypt, etc. I don't know why, but the water glows here 2 months out of the year. If you go to YouTube and punch in Cape Canaveral luminescence, you go in the waterways and you move your hand through the water at night, you'll see the water actually physically glows. It's pretty wild stuff. I can't explain it. The only thing I can tell you is we have incredible educational videos. There's another 11-minute video here which is the CEO of the EE system, Michael. That's it. That's all you do is just come here, pick your package. Look how inexpensive these packages are. Now, we do have the $100 2-hour package. That is nothing more than an IQ test. Okay. That's to see if you pass math or you failed math, because you could buy the 17-hour package for $350 for $20.11 per hour. Hello, is anybody home? All right. You buy the 40-hour package for $620. It comes out to a whopping $15.50. That means a gentleman or a person who lives with 3 roommates who is a minimum wager can afford $15.50 per hour. Okay. And the bigger packages you buy, the more down the price goes. 60 hours comes down to $860, $14.33. Gold package, 90 hours in the system. Folks, you have no idea what's happened in our centers in a lot less than 90 hours. We have reports of somebody buying, I believe it was the 40-hour package, a lady down in Vero Beach. And she came in and she had that thing that we're not allowed to mention, the CR. And she went to her oncologist and the doctor said, "You're almost in remission. What are you doing?" And she told him about, staying alive. These are the stories that are coming out. Now she's Amber's beautician, by the way. So the overnight package, $3,465. I mean, come on. You couldn't stay at Motel 6 in Cape Canaveral for $3,465. You understand that? But no healing. All right. We're going to have a couple new specials. We're going to have an unlimited package here soon. And we're going to have a package where you can buy 6 months at one time and you can come use the system 2 hours a day, every day. That's pretty wild. That's what we do, man. We're here with already before it's even required of us, we're doing humanitarian work. So guys, if you like this video, get it out far and wide. We're going to fix America. We're going to fix the planet. And you need to get a microphone and speak out. We are going to take even these platforms that have been holding our free speech back. And I'm coming out with a contest very, very soon. And I'll release that cat out of the bag when the timing is right. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Welcome to CarminesGold.com. Don't waste not even a second looking. Cheaper prices just don't exist. How important is it for you to own gold and silver right now? What does it mean to me personally? There's an economy that's about to crash beyond what words can explain. In 5 words, I'm going to educate you on gold and silver. Are you ready? You need to own some. Simple. Time is of the essence as the walls are closing in. This crash is visibly in motion right now. Don't kid yourself. The only way to preserve wealth is to become your own central bank. Just by owning gold and silver, the banks that are going into survival mode are currently stacking gold and silver like it's going out of style. You have the same opportunity instead of keeping your money in paper, which is worthless. Again, this is not financial advice. Going into survival mode is everything. Preserving your wealth and positioning your family to thrive in the near future is paramount. The time to take action is beyond crucial. God's money cannot be faked. It's got intrinsic value. It's got plenty of usability. And because the crypto game could be extremely complicated for most, this becomes the only way to preserve your wealth in the current times we live in. The price manipulation that has occurred over the last 150 years is about to come to a full stop as we move into an extremely different world. And the true value of gold and silver is going to shine like never before. The people who vividly see what's happening have moved into panic buying right now. The people who get it, who are positioned for wealth preservation, who are accumulating every week, every month, stand to change their course of history for 100 generations to come. Buying gold and silver from CarminesGold.com at unbeatable prices is the best decision you'll ever make. I'm going to end by saying this. This is my opinion and not financial advice. This crash is knocking on the door, and it's clear. It's here. We can fill any size order, $500, $500,000, and yes, even $10 million. Your best option to preserve wealth, if you don't understand cryptocurrency, is gold and silver. Do it now.